but then there's a part that...
Is it meant to compress?
I just broke it.
The
My
end.
wife's going to kill me.
Seska, I hope you're not watching this podcast.
I'll have to... Hey, it's Mike Pastel, Mike O'Neill.
Oh, wow. In mourning over this?
Over one long...
Over this?
See, if my dad was still with us, he passed away a couple of years ago, I would have gotten a call from him this morning. Season's over! Bring on football! The Cubs lost their first game of the season.
That's how he was?
Always, with everything.
For me, because Sean, as I've told you before, Sean gets really upset when they lose, my Dodgers. And I have to remind him, for the love of God, Sean, it's the preseason. None of this matters.
Well, it's not now. And we'll dive into that a little bit more. I actually have that like the last thing we'll get to in talking today. But it is the Mike and Mike's Off-Air podcast. Mike Pesto.
And Mike O'Neill right here.
And, of course, we're back on YouTube again after a brief hiatus, a third or fourth one that we're on again. There will be a visual aid here in just a little bit, so it will pay to watch that particular portion as opposed to listen. But it's just that one little portion, so you can listen to everything else.
Nice.
By the way, happy Ag Day.
Well, it is.
Yeah, today officially, all this week, if you live in an area that depends on ag, and obviously where we does.
I was going to say every day is Ag Day in the San Joaquin Valley,
Yeah,
but no, it is officially Ag Day.
It's a month-long celebration brought down to a week, and today officially National Agriculture Day. So I came across this, and apparently this is the official list of ag counties in California. Now, I asked this question on the air this morning with a question on Facebook as well. And if you haven't done it yet, get to our Facebook page. We always have a lot of great content there. If you check out anything there and you like what you see, like and follow us on Facebook so you can always get that stuff first.
Please.
So, of all the counties in California, can you name the top 5 in order?
Oh, my God.
When it comes to ag?
I can list probably the top one because I think it might be the San Joaquin Valley, only because I know for a fact that we have the biggest farm show in the world, and that would seem to give us a leg up.
Well, that's the valley. These are actual counties, and San Joaquin Valley is one of the counties. It's just not in the top 5.
Really? Well,
It's
then
number 7.
Well, then no, because I would have thought we were a big winner, and I don't know any others, not by name anyway.
Well, and counties, county names.
More or less. I mean, God, I don't know what would be bigger than us.
But again, we're not in San Joaquin County. You're
Yeah, no,
Okay.
But whatever county, Tulare County. Oh, well, yeah, I guess Tulare County.
It's Tulare County.
But
yeah.
still, though,
Tulare County is in the top 5
with our big old farm show.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You were confusing region with county.
You're
right. So now that you re-rack it, so top 5 ag counties in California. You already named one. Any idea where Tulare County falls?
I think you just said it. I think it was like 5 or 7 or something.
No, San Joaquin County is 7.
Yeah. Okay. No, I don't know.
Yeah, number 2.
That's good.
Okay, so get number 2.
God, I don't know which one would be number 1. Fresno?
Fresno County, number 1. I forget which crops are number 1. Garlic always surprises me is number 1 in Fresno County because Gilroy gets all the credit because that's where the garlic is processed.
Yeah.
So they grow it in Fresno County. It's shipped to Gilroy, which I forget what county that is. Gilroy County.
You can drive through it in about 9 seconds.
And then
it was.
You could smell it there in Gilroy in the processing. That's what you get all the smells there. But Fresno County has greater ag sales than 23 other states. Just Fresno County.
That doesn't surprise me due to the size of the metropolitan, right?
Yeah. So again, Fresno County 1, Tulare County 2. Any idea? I'll be shocked if you get number 3. Number 3 really surprised me. But then I thought about it. I'm like, no, okay. It's not in the valley, if that helps. Not in the San Joaquin Valley.
Stockton or Sacramento?
Well, those are in the San Joaquin Valley.
Well, then I'm dumb. Let me think. I don't know.
Monterey. with the lettuce and the
Really?
strawberries and the artichokes, and not so much the fields there with nuts and things, but
Grapes
most
too,
lettuce.
right? That's not a big
Not
venture.
real. Some areas, I guess, some areas of northern Monterey County, but yeah, if you drive through, I mean, Salinas and obviously Carmel by the sea and Pacific Grove, where my in-laws live. But you get towards the southern end, actually, of Monterey County, and it's King City and Gonzales and Soledad, all those areas, other than the prison, everything there is all ag. Just a lot of fields. And then Kern County at 4.
Not surprising.
Merced at 5. This one surprised me, too. You have to go all the way down to 10 to get Kings County.
Huh.
I thought for sure Kings had a lot more than that. But again, these are the numbers from last year, and I'm not sure how they're going to look like for this year.
Well, it surprised me. I'm married to my Jersey girl, and I didn't know that New Jersey was a big dairy area also. But she told me about that.
Yeah, Wisconsin obviously is known for the cheese for the most part.
We have a gal that works here that's from there, Amy, and she always brings back presents.
I never got
just
any
a little
her.
Piece of cheese.
She must like you more than she like Amy. If you ever listen to our podcast, where's my cheese?
She likes me a whole cheese's worth.
Yeah,
but oh my
nothing.
God, their cheese and their sausage.
Yes.
Is insane. Yeah. It's like sausage never. It's like you think of smack into a Slim Jim. Oh no, this is like the sirloin of sausage. These things, crazy.
Well, next time she asks me to do a favor for her, can you get that spot on for me quick? I don't know, Amy. Where's my cheese?
There you go.
I gave it to Mike O'Neill apparently.
Hard closed.
All right, so this is the visual
aid
portion of the proceedings. I haven't talked about this on the air yet. My wife.
That looks painful.
With the passing of my mother-in-law a couple weeks ago, my wife has kind of been going through some things and found this utensil. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see what this is. I gave you a little close-up look there. It's I'll describe it. It kind of looks like tongs, but then there's a part that...
Is it meant to compress?
I just broke it.
The end.
My wife's going to kill me.
Seska, I hope you're not watching this podcast.
I'll have to get that fixed now. So I was going to ask you, what do you think this was for? Now it's just for tossing in the trash, apparently. I'll try to fix it. But it kind of looks like a comb on the ends that come together, but there's a wide spot in the middle. So maybe my first thought was like picking up eggs out of boiling water, because it would be perfect for that. But that was wrong from what I was told. Any idea what this little doohickey is for?
I thought it maybe compressed some kind of pasta, but I don't know that. It looks like...
I kind of thought that too.
Beyond tongs, that's what it seems like.
Apparently, this little device here is for slicing tomatoes. Now, it doesn't slice them. What you do is you hold the tomato, and then the little grooves in here, that's where you actually take your knife and do the slicing.
That's not... Let me see.
Go ahead, please, by all means. Break it some more.
You're like, yeah. That's not bad, actually. Now that you see it on the cross section.
Okay, now, do you honestly mean that?
Would I ever use it? No.
Thank you. See, now this is my point that I'm going to get it on. There's another piece. I dropped on the floor.
Now you see me bring my salad every single day to the radio station. I cut up an entire tomato about this big in every salad. In about 4 seconds, Michael, just wham, 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 wham,
so
wham,
you
wham,
wouldn't
wham,
have
wham.
a need for something like that, but it helps you slice your tomatoes.
Yes,
so just doing
but
it freehand.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Well, that's like having... Okay, I'm going to start a fight maybe.
No.
That's like having not ice. That's like having a rice maker at home. Why do you have a rice maker? For the love of God.
My mom has one.
Rice is the easiest...
She swears by it, but...
Well, I'll tell you what it's for. It's for people that don't want to stand by and cook. They just want it to go ding, and it's done.
Or if you're preparing a lot of food and all the burners on the range are being used. And she swears by this. There is a certain texture that if you make Asian food, Chinese food, if you've ever been to an Asian Chinese restaurant, with the white rice, it's sticky. It clumps together.
But you have to...
From what she says, that rice cooker is perfect if you want rice like that. And I know if you cook rice on a stove, typically it doesn't come out clumpy like that because that's thought of as a bad thing. If you make it on the stove, it's more of a side dish. If you make it in the rice cooker, it comes out with more of the Chinese food texture and clumpiness to it.
Well, I like it non-clumpy, and it's
I
real
do the same
easy.
way.
It's real. I unintentionally am the best rice maker in the house, and so I don't let anybody else make it because I'm standing there, and it just takes a few minutes.
Do you do the instant rice or do you do the? Okay, so.
Oh, you mean freeze-dried rice shards? No, I use long rice.
But there's the instant rice where it only takes literally like a minute or two as opposed to the regular rice, which takes 10, 15 minutes.
But if you could, no, I'm familiar with it. I've always found my mom used it.
Okay.
But it always looks like rice pieces to me. It's not long grain rice, the instant rice.
The ones I've seen, it comes in different size. Like my wife gets the Minute Maid. It's the Minute Maid instant
red box.
rice.
My mom used it.
In the red box. Thing is, that costs a lot more.
Yeah.
I mean, this is where we are right now talking about the prices of things. If I can save a couple bucks and set the rice on the stove and then set a timer and then cook some other things while the rice is cooking and it just takes longer and I spent half as much, winner.
But for me, rice is just so easy.
Uh-huh.
And I just no.
The whole point for me, though, and I haven't talked about this on the air yet, I'm going to do that tomorrow, is have we reached a point with gadgets and gizmos, specifically in the kitchen, but maybe some other places as well, where enough is enough already? I remember in particular electric can openers. Does anyone even have an electric can opener anymore? My grandmother had one. It was right there on the counter in the kitchen, and I talk about this every year come Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving for me, I will always have the memories, because they were always at Grandma's house, of the cranberry sauce in the can with the magnet right there, and it sticks to it.
We had one, but we did.
Do you still have one?
Oh gosh, no.
Exactly.
We have the manual, easy to operate,
which is twice as fast, no energy, no counter space taken up, but for whatever reason, all these gadgets and gizmos come out, and I gotta have that.
Now we got an air fryer because that does something that borders on the food holy for me. I do not want to. My favorite baked potatoes in the world are cooked in the oven for about however long it takes, almost an hour, with the absolutely just perfect insides and the crispy outside. You can do that in the air fryer quickly.
You can.
And that's why I have an air fryer. I don't use it for anything else unless I have tater tots. But honestly, that's really it, and that's all I use it for. But my daughter and my wife use it for everything. It's a toaster for them. I because you have to put the stupid, what do you call it, the thing that keeps everything nice, and so it's easier to clean, and it's just a lot of work. It just turns into a job. It's like using a Foreman grill.
Yeah.
You clean up for 3 times longer than you cook that thing. So, that's okay.
Yeah, we used it a lot. Super Bowl Sunday, we had the little mini egg rolls that we put in there, and French fries, and tater tot, and almost everything that we had during Super Bowl Sunday was stuff out of the air fryer.
How good are tater tots?
I used it for the first time yesterday, St. Patrick's Day, with the pressure cooker setting. We have a Ninja Foodie.
Okay.
So it does the pressure cooking, it does the slow cooking, it does the air fryer, and there's some other features and things it can do on there as well that we haven't even begun to look at yet. And I had to look for that pressure lid because we had that hid somewhere else. So I did the corned beef and the cabbage and the potatoes and the carrots all in there. And then after it's cooked, then you put it on the air fryer mode, and you give it a little bit of a crispness.
God,
it came out so good.
I love corned beef and cabbage. I am, as you know, very Irish, and I adore that. And I'm the only one in my entire family that likes it. So we make it, that would be never. And it's a shame I catch up with it at other places if I were to visit you or somewhere. The only thing we've ever done, and we didn't do it this year, is you can get, and I know you've gotten it, the Irish stew from Costco. I can't think. It starts with an R, Recht, whatever the brand name is, but It's so good. It's really good. It's actually made with Guinness. It is legit. It's also $20 a package, and we need 3 of them to feed all the people that would enjoy it. So, yeah, we had burritos this year. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Bueno.
Were they at least green? Because
No.
I've seen the green.
No,
not the green.
Not
now.
even a
Okay.
little. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Just I had green sauce in my burrito.
Okay,
there
fine.
I
You
go.
get something.
Here
Base
I go.
covered.
Here I go. Here I go. Man.
Yeah, that's the one day a year that my wife is not 100% Sicilian. She has to have corned beef and cabbage.
I love that.
And I can't stand it. I'm not a fan. I
Then you
will not
probably-
cross the street for it.
Then you probably don't. The aroma of it runs
Yes.
a lot of people off.
I do like the smell of it, and not to pat myself on the back at all, because I went on YouTube and I did a search of Ninja Foodie corned beef and cabbage recipe. And I followed step by step the first one that came up, and I followed all the directions, the way to do it, when to pressure cook, when to air fry, how to do all that stuff, and it came out so good.
I'll have to steal that from you,
Yeah.
because I might have to be the chef at our house
Steal
for
it
that.
from YouTube. But yeah, I made it for her as and I reminded her that this is something I'm doing for you. Now, keep that in mind when you ask me what I want for dinner coming up sometime this weekend.
Right.
And I did a lot of the cleanup too in the kitchen afterwards. So,
Very
but
nice.
yeah, I'll talk a lot more about that tomorrow. Just again especially in the kitchen, there's just too many gadgets.
We
that
don't have
now.
a toaster anymore,
How do you not have a toaster?
because I really don't toast ever.
Now we have a I forget what it's called. It's not the toaster where you put the toast in and it goes down, but it's the toaster oven.
Yeah, we had one of those for a long time.
Okay.
It blew up, and we just have not been in a flaming hurry to replace it. The only time I wanted toast in this whole year was over the weekend, ironically. We had that really good pepper bacon. I had my tomatoes, and I wanted to make a BLT.
Okay.
And untoasted, it's okay, but it just doesn't get the job done. But I would love to have toasted the bread, and I didn't. But it wasn't worth me going out into the garage to go find the toaster.
You know where that comes in handy? The toaster oven, not only for toast, obviously,
Yeah.
because there's a toast setting, but there's an air fry setting, at least the one that we have as well. And when you get the little mini pizzas from Costco,
Yes.
instead of putting those in a microwave and they get all soggy, you put it in the air fryer mode, and the air circulates and it crisps it up, and you can kind of keep an eye on it through the window. As soon as everything starts turning a little toasty on top, done, and it's perfect.
And it's the only way to really properly reheat French fries, because otherwise they
Yep.
just turn into soggy.
Yeah, or
blah.
pizza, too, if you have
Yeah.
leftover pizza.
Perfect.
All right, so let's get to the big item. Major League Baseball season has started. Again, Chicago Cubs losing to the Los Angeles Dodgers, first game of the season. Game started at 3:05 this morning, ended just before I got on the air at 6, so my day started off in a bad spot. And you and I have talked about this off the air and off the podcast. How do you feel about America's pastime starting off a season, and this isn't the first time I've done it, by the way, in Japan or any other country than America? Does that strike a chord with you at all?
I find it odd. It's at first it's inconvenient because I'm not watching a baseball game at 3 a.m. I was up only because I needed to give my son a breathing treatment because he's still recovering. That's the only thing that would have got me out of bed at 3 a.m.
And you still didn't watch?
No. I wanted to get him that breathing treatment and get the hell back in bed.
And I just
Morning's coming, and it's coming soon.
Again, it's perfect for those who get a chance to watch this particular podcast. Again, see who is sporting his team's colors and my team lost, and the one who's sporting nothing.
And I've heard about it all day.
Yeah, his team wins. But baseball, as far as I'm concerned, has lost the moniker of America's pastime. It is now football. Without a doubt, it's football. For a host of reasons. One, Major League Baseball bending over backwards, inconveniencing themselves and their players. Why the union signed off on this, I have no idea. To start off the season, first 2 games that count in another country. And here's the other thing. We talked about this. So they played this morning. They're going to play one more game. So a 2-game series at the Tokyo Dome in Tokyo. So those games count. That's part of the 162 regular season games. Both teams then fly back to Arizona and play more games that don't count for spring training.
Yeah, why?
What?
Yeah, why? How do you? I mean, you've already screwed them up to death
With a time
flying them
change.
all the way around the world and back for no apparent reason other than as an homage.
Marketing.
And an homage to Japan. There's more
Yes.
Japanese players
Good
now.
point.
Hey there, my new pitcher, and our old new pitcher, again. And but yeah, that's a long way to go to tap dance or to win points, if you will. That's got to be heck on the players.
Oh, of course it is. Like I said, I'm surprised at the Players Union. And the Players Union with Major League Baseball is one of the strongest ones on the planet, more so than NBA, NHL, or the NFL for that matter.
And there's such kitsch with the ballparks here in our country. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know the players all feel differently about every different park around. They love some, they don't like some.
Yep.
They respect all and can't wait to be in a great deal of them. I'm sure nobody was like, oh, thank God we get to be in the Tokyo Dome. Because I don't know that, because why?
Well, and for that reason, and the fact that there are teams that are from Canada, and Major League Baseball has talked about having teams in Mexico, even teams in Europe at some point, and they're not saying it's out of the realm of possibility. In fact, part of this is marketing to other countries to see if we can get Major League Baseball overseas as well and have those teams play games.
What's next? The Baseball World Cup?
Is it America's pastime anymore? Well, I mean, what is your knee-jerk reaction to that?
Still technically, but I don't know. I mean, just because we play the one game, I don't think wrests it out of the hands of the country. It just makes for an inconvenient as hell week. And I want to talk more about why. It's the season. Oh wait, no, it's not.
That's ridiculous.
That is there is the logic error.
Because they've done the whole season starting elsewhere thing before. I don't ever recall, and maybe I'm wrong. If I am wrong, please do comment on the video or call either Mike or I and let me know. Boy, you guys screwed the pooch on that one. I don't think Major League Baseball has ever done this where, again, spring training, 2 games that count. Spring training, regular season begins.
It takes a certain amount of mental readiness
Yes.
to get to, okay, it's to
Go time.
frickin' morrow, y'all.
Yeah.
And after that,
And you got to
there's
do
no
that twice.
And there's no going back. But it's just like, hey, we're starting, and okay, these don't count. And, these do.
It's like a car that is
And
hesitating.
these don't, so...
Okay, are we going? Are we going? Are we? Yeah, okay.
I would feel... I want to get up and stay up if I were a player.
That it wouldn't have been, because it had been done before, as far as starting a season somewhere else, it wouldn't have been so egregious to me. But if you really want to do this, there's a break right after the All-Star game. Have the first game after the All-Star game take place somewhere else. Or you know what? Have the All-Star game, which really doesn't matter, take place in another country. There, you know what? There's some marketing right there.
There is 100% of your answer in my mind. I agree with that and you could do it anywhere and it would be awesome.
Exactly.
It just wouldn't matter. But it would be so cool.
For me personally, and I love baseball. Baseball will always be my favorite sport because of the 4. It's the one I could probably play the best. And I played up until my sophomore year in high school. Was really good early on, and then it got to a point where, okay, the game has passed me by. I'm having fun playing it at this point.
I know what you mean.
And I've coached my son when he was younger, when he was still into baseball as well with his grade school team. But for me, more and more, I think of football as the national pastime. One, because here it's football. In other countries, football is soccer. So it's quite obviously very Americanized. No one else really does it. The closest thing is rugby. So there's a sport that is really only played here. There are no other teams in Canada. Baseball has teams in Canada. There's no teams in Mexico, at least not yet. That, as far as I'm concerned, is now America's pastime.
It's an argument one would have trouble overturning, honestly. It is kind of